This video might be a little messy because I am frustrated with myself. I told myself that I was gonna go clothes shopping today and I chickened out. It's Saturday, I just got done with a very stressful work week and I was supposed to go buy clothes today. Now, why I was supposed to go buy clothes requires a little bit of explanation. So a year and a half ago, I was pretty popular, actually. I was going out at minimum 3 times a week. There were a dozen people who I was hanging out with. More, actually, if you count people that I was just, tangentially seeing through my social life. But over the past year and a half, all of that has fallen apart. For a variety of reasons. Some of it was just interpersonal conflict. Some of it is that last year I had a total meltdown with my bipolar disorder. I had a manic episode and a depressive episode, and I had to be hospitalized. And I think that I scared some people. Even though it was always me who was experiencing the symptoms that I was experiencing, I think that the people who knew me could tell that I was different. I think it weirded some people out. And anyway, long story short, my entire social life fell apart and I am essentially without friends. I mean, I do have friends. I have friends who I've been friends with for 20 years, but they live in different states. And I have friends in the city, but they're not people who I talk to often. I mean, I don't have any day-to-day texting in the group chat friends right now. And this has happened to me before. I can think of at least 2 times in the past 10 years where I found myself in this exact position where my habit is that I become really intense friends with one person. And typically that one person is the most magnetic person in the room. They have this whole circle of orbiters around them. And I become friends with that group of people. And it's like the person in the center of the room, the most interesting, magnetic, attractive person in the center of the room, the one that everybody wants to talk to. I am that person's favorite. That's my habit. That has been my habit for 20 years. And then this one relationship will fall apart and I lose that entire group of people and then I am by myself again. Make of that what you will. But anyway, a year and a half ago, I had 3 of those people who I was hanging out with. And so my social life was busy. And it all fell apart. Long story short, everything went away. And on top of that, I was suffering a life-altering mental health crisis. I almost died. I won't get into it, but let's just say that for a number of reasons, there are a lot of, in a lot of universes, I'm not sitting here today. My baby came to visit on the video. He is very clingy. Yeah, I almost died. And I had to work really hard at not dying. And even when all of those relationships fell apart, I still had to focus on not dying for a while. But now, after learning last year that I have bipolar disorder, I have been properly medicated for the first time in my life, and I'm experiencing something I have never experienced, which is that I don't feel like I'm mentally ill. I feel mentally well, genuinely, and it's a sustained mental wellness. It doesn't appear to just be a phase, which is another part of becoming safe in my own life, which I have been building. Okay, so I'm here. I feel pretty safe in my own life, and I've been licking my wounds from these relationships that fell apart for months. And I've always known that there's this thing looming in the future where I re-enter society, I go out, I make new friends. Which again, I've been here before. I've gone out and made new friends a lot. This lonely phase is something that always ends, and I always find a new group of people. Doesn't mean it doesn't suck, but this is something I've done before. So yeah, now that I've gotten the bipolar disorder under control, it's time for me to go out into the world and have new experiences and leave my apartment, which is the only place that I've felt safe while I've been going through this life-altering crisis. And I have something that's sort of vulnerable to admit and not something that I would probably tell other people in real life, but this is the internet and nobody I know watches these videos. But okay, so Christmas. I had Christmas with my extended family and then because of how my job is, I worked from home for a week. New Year's went by, I spent New Year's by myself. And then like January 3rd, I think it was a Saturday, I went to my sister's house to hang out with her and my niece and nephew. And there was a bunch of little kids there. My niece has so many friends. She's a very popular girl. And so there was a bunch of 8-year-olds there. I hung out with the kids. But somewhere in there, I contracted the flu that essentially took out my entire family after Christmas. And so after that, I was sick. I had the flu for 15 days. And at the same time that I was sick, this whole ICE invasion of Minneapolis was happening. And so my job has still had everyone working from home. So I was sick for over 2 weeks. I've been working from home. I don't have any regular everyday friends. I have 2 sisters who I'm very close with, and so we text each other every day, and I have somehow built a good relationship with my mom over the past year. I mean, we were no contact for like 5-6 years. It is really amazing that we've managed to heal our relationship, but it really did, and it feels very genuine. So I talked to my sisters and my mom, and I talked to them over the phone, and at work I'm having like meetings where I'm on camera, people are on camera. I am talking face to face with people. But because I'm working at home and I was sick and I don't have plans with people, it actually wound up being 22 days in a row where I didn't in real life face to face see anyone that I know. I was alone in my apartment for 3 weeks, partly due to the flu, partly because of the social disaster I've gone through, and partly because of the ICE thing, and then partly because I'm not making plans with people. But anyway, so on Sunday, my sister came over, we watched a movie, and that was the first time I had seen someone since essentially New Year's. And this 3 weeks of isolation told me that, you know what? This thing that's been looming in the future where I re-enter society, where I go out and I meet people and I have new experiences, it's time. And so my thinking has been, okay, in a very real material way, I'm gonna have to invest some money in this process. Because you're not allowed to talk about this on YouTube anymore, but let's just say that I have gained some lbs and I am down to 1 pair of pants that fits me, which is fine if you never have to go into the office. I'm on Seroquel. It's a known side effect of this medication, but it's like I said, I'm bipolar disorder. I'm finally feeling well, so there's no way I'm giving it up. But anyway, so I have to go out into the world and meet people, but in order to do that, I need clothes. So I'm gonna have to invest money in buying clothes. Last Sunday, my sister came over, and then I worked the entire week from home. I didn't see anyone. Last night I went out to dinner at a Mexican restaurant with my entire family because it's my mom and my sister's birthday, basically. So I saw people. I saw my sister on Sunday. I actually did go into the office one day this week. Yeah, they had us return to office and they had this meeting about our ICE protocol. And we found out that the only security we have at our office is one guy sitting in a car out front who is unarmed, not authorized to confront anyone. So his job basically is just to call the front desk if he sees anyone coming. And people were not pleased when they heard this. So much so that the only day they had us come into the office this week, by 5 p.m., there was an email from the CEO saying, we got it wrong, work from home for the rest of the week. But yeah, so saw my sister on Sunday, went to the office on Tuesday. Last night, Friday night, I went out to dinner with my family. So I saw people in real life 3 times this week, which is a lot better than not at all for 3 weeks. But anyway, today I was supposed to wake up, go to therapy, and then go out to the mall and buy clothes so that I can go out to new things and meet people. But I didn't do that. I have been stalling all day. I also quit vaping. I didn't vape for 6 days in a row. And last night I finally broke and I went out and I bought a vape and it was so gross. Immediately gross. Immediately. I was like, why did I do this? But then I shut down, I froze. And I just laid on the couch vaping until like 3 o'clock in the morning. And I felt physically gross. I threw away the vape. I went to bed. And then this morning when I was supposed to get up, I slept in because I was up way too late. And when I woke up, I was feeling gross. My body, I didn't take my medication, which I usually take at 9 a.m. I was in nicotine withdrawal because I'm wearing two nicotine patches to make me feel sane. So I woke up feeling like shit and like hiding from the world inside of my bed. And I had to actually have a moment with myself where I was like, Lindy, you are not hungover right now. I felt like when I was an alcoholic, like hiding in bed with a hangover. And I was like, Lindy, you're not hungover. Just get up, take your medicine, put on your nicotine patch. You're going to feel fine. So I finally roll out of bed at like 1 o'clock today. I spent about an hour getting ready. And then I had therapy at 2. It's telehealth therapy. And therapy ended at 3. And it is now 5:15. Which I am convincing myself is too late to go out and buy clothes. And I'm just frustrated because like I'm hiding inside of my apartment. The outside world has been really scary for me for the last year. And social relationships have been really scary for the last year. And just in general, me and my body, we don't have the best relationship. I'm plus size. I've always been plus size. Shopping for clothes has never been the most positive experience for me. Except in the last couple years, it has gotten better because there are actual like plus size stores that I can go to. But I didn't do that today. I'm hiding inside of my apartment. And I'm frustrated with myself. Because no one can go out into the world for me. No one is gonna make friends for me. I actually have to get up the nerve to do this. It's just forcing myself out the door. It's putting on my shoes, it's putting on my one pair of pants, it's putting on my jacket and actually going out into public. And I've just grown sort of agoraphobic over the past year. And I'm not happy with myself for avoiding this today.